I never caught my husband cheating. That's the part people don't understand. There were no lipstick marks. No late-night calls answered in whispers. No unexplained hotel bills or sudden password changes. Arjun came home every night at exactly 9:10 p.m. He kissed my forehead. He asked about dinner. He slept beside me like a man with nothing to hide. And yet, something was wrong. It started with silence, not the loud kind, not fights or slammed doors, but the quiet that creeps in slowly, the kind that pretends to be peace. He stopped telling me small things. What he ate for lunch. Who annoyed him at work. Which song was stuck in his head. The details disappeared first. When I asked, he smiled and said, "Just tired." Tired became his excuse for everything. I believed him because I wanted to. Because believing your husband is easier than dismantling the life you built together. Because suspicion feels like betrayal when you don't yet have proof. But my body knew before my mind did. I started waking up at 3 a.m. for no reason. My chest felt tight when he touched me. His laughter felt rehearsed, like a line delivered too perfectly. Still, I told myself I was imagining things. Until the notebook. One evening, while cleaning the study, I found it tucked behind old tax files. A black notebook. No name. No dates on the cover. I assumed it was his. I shouldn't have opened it. But I did. Inside were lists. Not sentences. Not diary entries. Just lists. Tuesday, blue curtain. Coffee, no sugar. Scar near left wrist. Laughs before finishing jokes. None of it made sense. Then I turned the page. Doesn't like silence. Asks about my childhood. Smells like rain. My hands went cold. These weren't my details. I don't wear blue curtains. I take sugar in my coffee. I don't have a scar on my left wrist. I sat there for a long time, staring at handwriting I knew better than my own. Arjun's. That night, when he came home at 9:10 p.m., I watched him like a stranger. Every movement. Every breath. I wondered how many secrets could fit inside a man who slept so peacefully. I didn't confront him. Not yet. Mysteries unravel faster when you let people believe they're safe. I began observing instead of accusing. He started going 4 evening walks. Always alone. Always with his phone on silent. Always returning calmer than when he left. Once, I checked his phone while he showered. Nothing. No suspicious messages. No unfamiliar numbers. That scared me more than evidence would have. Because it meant he was careful. Or worse, he didn't need the phone. I noticed something else. Every Friday, he wore the same watch. An old one. Scratched. Broken clasp. He hadn't worn it in years. Every Friday, he left 5 minutes earlier. Every Friday, he came back exactly on time. Precision is never accidental. The truth didn't come from spying or tracking. It came from a woman who smiled at me like she knew me. I was buying vegetables at the local market when she approached. "You're Arjun's wife, right?" I froze. She was my age. Maybe younger. Wearing a blue curtain. I nodded. "He talks about you," she said warmly. "Says you're very kind." My stomach dropped. "Who are you?" I asked. She tilted her head. Confused. "I'm Mira." "He didn't tell you?" "Tell me what?" That he spent every Friday evening listening to her stories? That he held her hand when she cried? That he memorized her coffee order and the scar on her wrist? No. He didn't tell me. She realized something was wrong. "Oh," she said softly. "You didn't know. Here's the part that hurt the most. They hadn't slept together. No hotel rooms. No physical betrayal. They met to talk. To walk. To exist without responsibility. She knew his fears. His regrets. His childhood wounds. She knew the version of him I used to know. She makes me feel seen," he admitted later, when I finally confronted him. Seen. As if I had been blind. As if loving him for 10 years had made me invisible. "I never meant to hurt you," he said, eyes full of something that looked like guilt but smelled like relief. That's when I understood. The mystery wasn't whether he cheated. It was how he disappeared while still living in my house. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I smiled. And I told him I forgave him. He looked shocked. Grateful. Hopeful. That night, I packed a bag. Not mine. His. Inside it, I placed the notebook. On the last page, I wrote one sentence in my handwriting. "You were seen. Just not by me anymore." I left before he woke up. No dramatic exit. No goodbye note. Some mysteries don't need closure. Some betrayals don't deserve explanations. People ask if I miss him. I don't. I miss the man I thought he was. But that man never existed. He was just another story, well written, carefully edited, and ultimately fictional. And I learned something important. Infidelity isn't always about bodies. Sometimes, it's about attention. Sometimes, it's about escape. Sometimes, the deepest betrayal is choosing someone else's silence over your partner's truth. And that's the kind of mystery you solve by walking away.